Hey everyone, this is Ryan B with Practical Forex Trading. This is your weekly analysis of the S&P 500. The date is May 17th, 2020. It's 10:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If you want to stay up to date with all of our videos, make sure you click that red subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. So, sentiment bearish, meaning more sell-offs ahead. Now, this is a daily chart, and this goes back to about mid-2019 we see here. We look now, we're halfway through May, moving into June. And the reason I'm bearish is because recent attempts of the 2950 zone, 2900, 2950 have been rejected, similar to the action we saw on the Dow Jones, meaning more selling than buying, and which is pushing prices back down. We're now also moving below the fast daily moving average. So this moving average is set on the parameters of 20, so the last 20 days. And if we look historically, that seems to provide some pretty good trading analysis, right? So here, prices were on the uptrend, and every time price dipped back below, it would come back up, and then once prices sustain above the fast-moving average, we saw our bulls, and prices went up. And then once price breaks below that, similar to like support and resistance, but you don't want to use it as that, but the similar movement of every time it comes back up and tests the bottom, we saw another sell-off. So for a short time there, for the last month or so, we've seen a bounce. Prices have been above that moving average, but now we see the downtrend setup occurring. So let's go ahead and zoom into our 4-hour. And oh, it doesn't like. Let's go to a 4-hour in this one. Okay, so we can tell the story with the daily. So why a downtrend is setting up is because, and why we're now moving under the average is as follows. Prices came down, came up, made the first attempt to break through this resistance line at 2900 area. First sell-off. Came back up second time, did successfully move through, but then the next week it couldn't sustain, then we fell back below. Third attempt came back up. Now this time, unfortunately, the high was lower than the previous high. So now on more of a micro scale, we've got, okay, lower high. Now all we need is a lower low to become a downtrend, and here we go. We have it a few days later. So the downtrend is setting up, and I believe we're going to see the index return back to the 2500 area. So while in the short term we are bearish, overall in the long term, it's a multi-year uptrend. So I just think it's going to be some time before we see that resume. So if we were to map let's go back a little bit further. If we go all the way back to 2008, 2009, and we connect those bottoms, we see that price is indeed well in the uptrend. However, what I think is going to occur is the long-term recovery scenario where prices will dip for the rest of the year. This index will dip back into here for 2021. Looking for maybe the beginning of 2021 will be a great time to buy. So I do think ultimately we will see, stock markets return and achieve new highs, but it looks like it's going to be a few years down the road if we regard technical analysis as our key indicator of why that would happen. So ignoring all news, right? Just ignoring fundamentals, looking at this chart is telling me, okay, it's going to need some kind of major sea change in attitude about buying and selling to push prices higher. Now we do have another scenario that could be a little bit more middle of the road, if you will. See, we do have some short-term support right here around the 2700 mark. We could see prices float back down to 2700, and then we could do some range trading over the next couple of years where the index kind of floats. See, look at between 2018 and 2019, prices just kind of back and forth float before they finally broke out. So now it's back in that zone, and if prices were kind of stuck in the mud before in a certain price zone, they're likely to have that same problem again. So, all right, everyone. Well, I hope you have a very profitable week trading, whatever you're trading. Hang in there, and we'll talk soon.